And welcome back, everybody. It's Friday night, so it's got to be Indian Rider Radio After Hours coming to you live tonight just on YouTube. Unfortunately, not that we don't love you, YouTube guys, but we had a little disconnect with our Facebook connection and infinite attempts to get that to work didn't. So here we are on YouTube tonight. It is me, Curtis Sawyer, with Indian Rider Radio from the Indian Rider Radio studios. And who better to bring in another week of After Hours than a guy who's been on the road all week, plowing around in Minnesota. Ridingfish, what have you been doing, man? How's things?
Stressful. Today sucks. Let's be honest.
It did. Yeah. It was bad all the way around.
Yeah. I got wrote up at work. My normal job.
You told me about that. Yeah. In your regular life, you got written up.
Yeah. Too early. Too good.
Whoa. You got written up for being too early.
Yeah. Too early. Can you believe that? I don't know. It's crazy.
Because I've always learned that early is on time and on time is late.
Yeah. So we have a window, so we're allowed to be early. Just can't be more than 2 hours early.
Okay.
And that's where I fell short.
Oh, that's where you were way early.
Yeah. So my bad.
Okay. All right.
But
so you're going to take that one and run with it. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just be later.
Yeah. There you go.
That works, right?
Yeah. Well, we've fought our way through some technical challenges, and one of our guests is going to be delayed tonight. But that being said, we have a lot of other things to cover, including we're going to talk about the new chief. We're going to talk about probably the Pan America for Harley-Davidson. And generally speaking, just cover what's happening around motorcycling and Indian motorcycle in particular over the next hour or so. And we have a lot of people to thank for putting this all together. First, obviously, Eric Thurber, great guy, Thurber Jewelers, and Trust No One Clothing. And,
it's a mighty nice shirt you have there.
It is indeed, isn't it? I got this at Sturgis.
I remember.
Yeah.
So so Trust No One Clothing, they sponsored me in June, and now they're going to be a sponsor of our show. So
nice. Very good.
Dude, I'm pretty pumped. I was pretty excited that when Eric decided to tell me that he was interested in that. So yeah, I'm down. I'm down 100%.
Right. So check him out, trustnoonclothing.com or thurberjewelers.com. Either way, you're going to be helping out our friend Eric, and Eric is helping us out. So it doesn't get any better than that. We also want to thank all of the guys at Rush Racing Products, Lloyd's Garage, Indian Motorcycle, Charlotte, for all of the support they provide for Indian Rider Radio. And this week, a big week for me on the podcast side of the world. Great interview, great show up right now with American Flat Track and Michael Locke, who is the new CEO there.
So great interview. Yeah, you at least deserve an applause. Do you have that close?
I don't.
No.
Well, maybe I do. Let's try this.
Oh, look at that. You get it. Yeah. You get it. It was actually fun. You know what I thought I took away from what was the CEO's name? What was his name again?
His name is Michael Locke.
Michael.
Yeah.
What I took away from him was that he wasn't one of those CEOs that's Mr. Bottom Line. I'm sure he cares.
Oh, yeah.
But he was very for the sport. He seemed genuinely pumped for flat track racing.
Yeah, no question about it. He is one of those guys that has such a long history and resume with other big brands and bringing them back into the American marketplace or making them more American friendly, if you will. Ducati,
right.
Triumph, Lamborghini, some of those. And as a result, he was able to, take his kind of this love of racing and motorcycles and kind of lay it on top of American Flat Track. And then he had a vision for how he expected that to be. And the guy has really sold it. He's been able to do it. And, American Flat Track now is continuing to grow. It's got a huge television following now. And that would have been possible without a guy like him.
Yeah. Yeah. He came across very excited. And I don't know. It was a good interview. So if the people watching haven't heard it yet, they should go listen.
Go check it out wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And you today were out running around. You were over at Bison Thunder Motorcycle there as well, too, right?
Yeah. So they got a chief. And it was Polaris Indian Motorcycle Company's chief. So nobody was allowed to ride it.
Okay. Good look at it.
I said, don't you know who I am? Like, come on. I should be able to ride it. And they followed that up with especially not you. So,
right.
Yeah, what do you do? I took some pretty pictures and I got to sit on it. And,
Good.
our guest tonight got to ride it. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and if both of our guests get to drop in, both have had the chance to ride it, and both will have their own take on it. And I think that that's going to be kind of exciting. If you'd like to join us in the comments, please do. We're happy to have you. And by all means, if you're looking for us on Facebook and you can't find us there, there's a reason. That's why we're hanging out on YouTube tonight. Just don't, you don't have to ask about that. We'll disclaimer it later. But let's take a real short break. We'll come right back, get started, and we're going to meet Brian Remington. Brian, Ride with Two Indians. So if you haven't been here before, he hasn't been here before. So you need to come join us. Right, Fish? You good?
That's right. I'm good. I'm sending out links. I'm getting people to know because all your friends are looking for you on Facebook. And sometimes
I thought you were hitting up your wife over there. I thought you were texting your bride upstairs.
She's probably watching.
Oh, okay.
Or not. This is her moment of break time.
Oh, we're coming right back. Don't go away.
I'm in Bison Thunder here in St. Paul. They want to sell you a bike and help you build the bike. Yeah. Why wait till all the parts are on back order?
We have special things going on that we put in our dealership in Minnesota. We're signing people out and they're not even paying for their bike for up to 4 months.
Buy them now.
Yep. No Worries Promise, which is lifetime powertrain. First 2 years maintenance and wear items are covered on all new bikes, the heavyweight.
Bison Thunder here in St. Paul. Also have one in Rogers. All right. So that's where they are. Come to Bison Thunder, St. Paul. Home of the No Worries Promise.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
I got to say, I'm a fan of the No Worries Promise. I think that's a great idea. I love what they've got going on at Bison. And you have found Indian Rider Radio After Hours with Ridingfish and myself. I'm Curtis Sawyer. And we have a special guest with us tonight. Somebody who you have probably seen on YouTube. You probably follow him on YouTube. So maybe he ought to join us now. Hey, of course, sure.
I'm cleaning my bike.
I see this. Yeah. This is Brian Remington from Two Indians and YouTube. Hi, Brian.
Oh my gosh. How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Having an awesome day. I showed up early for work and nobody complained.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, but yeah, it's pretty bitter for me. I put in overtime this week. I did all this, and I had to deal with a write-up. So,
yeah, they were shocked because I never come in early. I'm usually late, to be honest.
Well, that's because your weather's so nice. You take the long way to work, probably.
I did ride to work today, by the way. It was just so nobody feels bad. It was about 64 this morning when I left the house, and when I got home around 1. So not only did I get there early, but I left early. I was about 82. So beautiful weather here in sunny Central Florida.
What part of Florida are you in?
Near Orlando.
Orlando.
Everybody knows where that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Near somewhere.
Epcot, Disney, all that good stuff. Yeah, I know all about that place. I love it. What little I know about Orlando, Florida has to do with whether or not I could get parked at Disney. It was basically all I could tell you about that when I visited Orlando.
Yeah.
And I get over there. How far away am I? Yeah.
Yeah, we stay as far away from there as possible.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll be flying into Orlando before I go up to Daytona, and then I'll go to like the Everglades and stuff for a week, and then I'll go back to Orlando to fly home.
Oh,
man.
cool. Well, if you're going to be in town, let's get together.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know. Definitely.
All right, awesome.
It's nice to officially meet you. I think we've played the text game before and the Discord game with Indian Motorcycle World and all those guys, but actually haven't met or talked like this. So.
That's correct. Yeah. Well, I'm in such high demand.
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, you are. You're one of those guys that whenever something is going on, you seem to be there. And this most recently, you got a chance to ride the Chief. And your channel is doing very, very well. You guys have a loyal following. You've got a variety of stuff you cover. And the Chief was just, I thought that you really gave it a good light.
Well, it shines a light on itself. Honestly, it's a great bike, and it deserves all the praise that it's getting. And anybody out there that's talking down about it, which I've heard a couple of people complain about the front brake, or just things like that, a single disc in the front. They haven't ridden the bike, and they don't know what it's about, or they don't understand it. But I thoroughly enjoyed riding it and had a good time on it.
Well, let's set the premise. You ride normally a Springfield.
That's
and
correct.
It's 116. It's got a great exhaust system on it.
Yeah.
So the bike is it's a performance oriented bike.
It definitely is.
Yeah, and then you went so far as to add the ape hanger bars and all that kind of thing. So when you step off it and then step onto the Chief, first impression, that moment when you throw the leg over.
Well, so I kind of have to separate the impression from the expectation, right? I mean, isn't that something that we all try not to do, right? We don't want to go in with any preconceived notions.
Yeah.
My hope for the bike is that it was going to be everything that we were looking for, right? A little bit smaller frame, good sized motor, whether that was the Power Plus or the 111, 116, and which none of us knew, right? Going into the reveal. Yep. And then, actually getting there and getting my eyes on the bike and throwing a leg over it, it felt like it was everything that I have been wanting and expected from the pictures that we saw in the press releases too. Just a perfect mid-size bike. A lot of people laugh at the fact that we call it a mid-size bike. I don't know if you've looked at any of the comments on my review, but people are just some people are besides themselves, sport bike riders. How do you call a 600-pound bike a mid-sized bike? But, the Bobber's 450 and my Springfield's 800. This is 6, right? So it's in between. It's a mid-sized bike.
Well, and that's to some degree, that's how they presented it as well, is that it was going to appeal to somebody that may be drawn regularly to that intermediate size or mid-size motorcycle that we were all familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be a lot more muscular. It's going to have a lot more, I wanted to say a little more grunt. Does it?
Oh, man, let me tell you. See, when I first saw that they were using the 111 platform for this bike, I was so happy. I was so thrilled. If just imagine shedding 200 pounds off of your Springfield or off of your Chieftain, it's gonna have a lot more pep, and this thing definitely does. I think, being that I've become accustomed to the 116, you've got to do a 116 in this bike. I couldn't live with anything else now because I'm spoiled, but if you're a scout rider or somebody like that and you're looking for the next step up and maybe the Springfield or the Chieftain is too big for you, then I think this is just the perfect bike for you. Absolutely.
Fish, you walked up to one today.
Yep.
First look, first thought.
Lloyd's Garage 126 would be sick in this bike. That was my first thought, because at first I go, okay,
all right, I'm taking control away from you. You can't push any buttons. Stop playing with stuff.
Hey, my computer unfroze. I can now play with things.
All better. Look at you.
Wow. So you saw, Curtis, how I ride the Roadmaster.
Yeah.
The same motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That mid-size would be so fun. I did something interesting today. I wasn't able to ride it. But they pretty much let me do anything else I want at Bison. And so what I did do is I went and got a Scout and I put it next to it and I kind of sat on both and I went from one to the other. And knowing it is 100 pounds bigger than the Scout, it didn't really feel that way. Brian, you have a Scout in your garage, right?
Yeah, my wife has a bobber, correct. And
Yeah.
I use a Scout also. Mhm.
So then what did you think? Did you think it felt much heavier than the Scout?
Yeah, I did, but I'm not going to say much heavier. It just felt a little heavier. I mean, it
Okay.
is a larger frame. It has a longer wheelbase. It does sit up a little bit taller than the Scout, which, in my opinion, it needs to.
Yeah, so the seat height's only a half inch, and I
Right.
think the wheelbase is only 1 inch. So it's relative. It's not a lot bigger, but I thought when I sat on it, I thought it felt bigger. It didn't feel heavier to me, but I work out. So
Well, right. It doesn't feel heavy when you're riding it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel it's a heavier bike. Duh. I mean, it's
Sure.
a heavier bike, but when I was riding it, it felt like a small bike for me, but without that small, oh my God, I'm Dwayne Johnson on a tricycle kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. And that's what a lot of guys were scared to death of, is that they were going to fall in love with the thing and find out that it's too small. But if you look at motorcycle design, this 64-inch wheelbase and that 28.5, 29-degree rake is kind of what they've been wanting to make for a long time, because again, our friends down the street in orange and black kind of went away from that, and they left a gap in that part of the marketplace.
Yeah.
And I think this fills that gap nicely, because it was not uncommon, if you looked at bikes, if you were not very well versed in a lot of them, a Dyna and a Sportster, depending on how they were set up, could look very similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more the Dyna, sure. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think a Dyna and a Chief can really look familiar. I mean,
Yeah.
I think this is directly after a Dyna Bro.
Yep, exactly.
And it
how
should
many Harley people do we know that were upset when they killed the Dyna?
Yep. Most. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was poised to buy one. I was going to get one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think
the first thing I thought when I pulled out of the dealership, and I was on the 116 on the Super Chief Limited. For those of you who haven't seen the video, which by the way, you can see it at YouTube /C/2Indians.
Wait for it. Look at this. You have your own crawl. Okay. Look at this.
Ride
with
with 2 Indians on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing I thought of immediately is, wow, the 116 is pulling this little frame around like it's nothing, and you can feel the weight on a Springfield and on a Chieftain. But like Ridingfish just said, I'd love to see this thing with a set of cams in it, open up the throttle body, do whatever their big bore kit does on the 116, because it would just absolutely be a screamer.
Oh, yeah. Now that you come to say that, you think about that. Even in a Springfield, you're talking 780 some pounds, right? I mean,
dry, yeah,
right, it'd be around that.
Yeah.
And so then you're looking at, oh wow, 140-pound discount. Okay, yeah, I could do that. You can have some fun.
Yeah, that's the if you're used to riding 2 up, and your girlfriend gets off the back, you can feel the difference.
Experience, yeah, much the same experience.
Hey, what is the seat height difference on the Springfield to the Chief? Do we know? Paul asked.
Literally the same.
Yeah, it's almost negligible, because this is 26.5, and depending on the suspension setup and whatnot, you're only looking at 27 inches or so on the Springfield.
Wow.
Yeah, it was less than half of an inch.
Yeah.
But so as I detailed in my video, the front of the seat, I don't know what you call it, the point of the seat is much narrower, right? And the seat pad itself is shorter. So you're able to get your legs, that hangs over a little bit easier than it does on the Springfield, because the width of the seat on the Springfield at the tank kind of pushes your legs apart and makes them spread out a little more. So it's a little harder to get your feet on the ground. This, you could almost have your knees out in front of you and put your feet on the ground. So it was a completely different sit on the bike.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10". I've got a 31-inch inseam.
Yeah.
See, I'm 6'10", so there's quite.
You're 6'10"?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, he
no.
worked for the NBA at one time. Come on. What are you talking
No, I'm 5'10".
Okay.
They're
on
34.
a good day?
All day 5'10", all day 5'10".
With his boots on, yeah.
Yeah, I got a solid 5'8" all day long, and if I put my boots on, I can actually look at almost as tall as him. Yeah.
So,
But
you
that's
know, I interviewed a girl named Meg who is in our IMRG group, and she's considerably shorter. She's probably 5'4", I would guess, and she has a Chieftain. But if you watch the video, she absolutely loved the Chief, and she's already put in an order on a Chief. She loved it that much.
good.
And is probably, maybe, I don't know, that family has a collection of motorcycles. I would say that she's probably going to get rid of the bobber, but knowing them, they're probably not. She's probably going to keep it because I know she also loves that bike. But she fell in love with it, and she had a great time on it and was able to sit on it completely flat-footed. I had some video of it, but it was just me passing, so I couldn't use it. But yeah, she was completely flat-footed on that bike.
Well, that was one of the things now that I liked about the idea here with making the seat lower, making the bike a little narrower, is because there was a time, even in the Softail line at Harley-Davidson, where, for example, I had a 2008 Harley-Davidson Crossbones, okay? 26, 27-inch seat height. I put a lower seat on it yet for that very, feeling you were talking about, Brian, being able to get your feet out there in front of you and get a little planted, sit on the motorcycle, instead of stand there with it.
Right. Yeah.
And the point is that it was just a very cool, kind of laid back, comfortable feel. And in the Softail frame, it was not the most nimble. Okay. It was a little clumsy bike, but it gave you that sensation, that feel. And it did it with a 4.5 gallon fuel tank. It did it with a 103 at the time. And that bike was a lot of fun to ride. And it was pretty versatile for what it was. I think they've got much the same going here is what I was trying to point to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite things about this bike is the way that they've designed this new exhaust header on it, and the way that it collects into a little X pipe and then just pops right back out into 2-in-1 into 2. And I thought that was very cool. Very cool. Great decision on their part.
Well, let's take a look at what Dessa's got here. Hi, guys. I ride a Ninja 1000, but I'm looking at cruisers. How would you sell a Chief to me? Let's see.
So here's what I would ask you. I would ask you, number one, why are you looking at a cruiser? And this is the motorcycle salesman and me coming out,
right?
Because you want to do longer trips probably, and you want to be more comfortable, right? I mean, isn't that the number one reason? And you're going to be able to lean back and relax on this bike and still have a great feeling of power.
Yeah, and I think this bike is also going to lend you to a couple of other things. You're enjoying the horsepower at a Ninja 1000, but when you get to experience a motorcycle that is built along the lines where you're really feeling torque and really getting that low end sensation, it creates a little different sensation when you ride the motorcycle. And, I think you're just going to have more fun. I don't know why you would be moving off of the Ninja either, but if it is, as Brian indicates, to travel more or, just have more convenience, yeah, this is going to be a ton of fun. Comparatively, it will be vastly different, but fun.
Right. Yeah. Quick question, guys. I did another YouTube, Facebook show with somebody else, Bodine. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Bodine, sure.
Bodine 52. Yeah. And we're all required to have a cocktail close by. So I got to ask you guys, have you got a drink over there?
Well, there's a beverage. Yeah, there's a beverage. Oh, look at you.
What are you? Well, I've got some Casa Amigos tequila.
All right. Yeah, please pour.
I got tequila with my amigos on the bottle.
Whoa.
Just saying. Yeah.
I just overfilled this.
Wait. Where do you get souvenir tequila?
Mexico.
Okay, sure. Of course you do. Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
Look, there we go. We got Big Gabe, Matty Ice, Jeremy. Then I am.
All those guys all slept on my couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I'm going to stick with
I got to do it.
Sure. And let's pour one back. Look at that. It even gave you a little pinky. Oh, dear God.
Get it.
Attaboy.
Get it.
That's good. Okay.
Okay, so he's not driving home. All right.
Luckily, we do this from our basement.
Thank God. Yeah, you should see the traffic on the way out of my office here, all the way up the stairs.
Yeah, you have 2 flights of stairs before you get to your room, buddy.
So tell me, guys, what's the whole the vibe now? Indian has brought out not one but 2 revisions of motorcycles here. We've got obviously now the new Jeep and everything that it offers and how it's going to reach out to that different rider who I think we're going to learn a little bit more about as we go along here. I think you're going to find out that that's not as narrowly niched as they think it might be. And I think also Indian has not let any grass grow because FDR revisions, all based on what people had already told them about the bike, while they're still doing this, in addition to, supporting their race teams and doing so many other things they have going on right now, what's next for these guys? Brian, I mean, look over the horizon. What do you see out there?
Well, I mean, I think last year we all saw those artist renderings for the patent office of a Power Plus 108 sitting in a fork-mounted fairing bike. And that is what I'm very excited about.
All right, time out. I'm going to do it.
What?
Do it. Who saw the Harley-Davidson Pan America? Anybody?
Oh, are we going to dive into the Pan America?
Well, because it leads to what Brian. You might. Okay. All right. You might just want to go to bed. That might be the damn best bike Harley-Davidson has ever made.
I would have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, it is a true motorcycle with all the technology. It has some sick technology on that bike. Yes. So what I'm going to quick fast forward, and we can come back to this, is that if it sells amazing, that FTR adventure bike might be coming out quick.
Well,
yeah.
Let me, if I can, right? Yeah. So, honestly, when I first saw it, I thought, yawn, really. I mean, does the world need another adventure bike? And does the world need an adventure bike from Harley-Davidson? I mean, really, the brand that has never really, poked its nose into that market. And how are they going to get their guys that are used to hanging out in bars and, well, never mind, I won't go there. But why would they want an adventure bike? And how are you going to get the guys that are on KTMs and Africa Twins and things like that to the adventure bike from Harley-Davidson? But like you said, Ridingfish, when you actually look at this bike and you look at the specs on it, it's lighter than an Africa Twin and a KTM, and it has 40 more horsepower. I mean, 30% or 40% more horsepower, 150 horses, a nice big 6.5-inch touchscreen. I mean, it is super cool. The tank doesn't appeal to me all that much, but to be honest, seeing that they've got it already rigged up with stainless steel or aluminum boxes in the back, and this thing is ready to go cruising on the Trans-America Trail or all the way down to South America or something like that. I think it's awesome. I really do.
It has to be legit the best bike they've ever made. I mean, 5 ride modes. It has auto height suspension, which is incredible. So when you're coming to a stop sign, it drops as much as 2 inches. How many people needed that on the FTR? All I'm saying.
All of us.
Yeah. It's incredible. I love it. I was very, very happy to see that come out with a bang, because I was thinking, okay, the live wires, 30 grand. They're going to come out with like a 26.9 price tag on this bad boy. It's going to be lame. And they came in with their 19,999 for their special and 17.3 or something like that for their base. Yeah. But I believe you still have to pay for those bags and stuff extra.
Oh yeah. All of that's extra. Yeah. And it is a little pricier than those other 2 bikes. But in the same token, it is built in America, and I happen to like that. And and I think it's a great platform. And I hope they do well with it. And also, like you said, I can't wait to see why has Indian taken so long to flip the FTR into an adventure bike, to come out with a version of that.
Fair question that we're going to answer when we come back. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Indian Rider Radio After Hours, Riding Fish, and our special guest, Brian Remington. Don't go away.
Hey guys, it's Amanda from Indian Motorcycle Charlotte and Lloyd's Garage here. I want to talk to you about our B4 custom bike series. I think there's been a little bit misunderstanding of what they are. I know you guys have seen our pictures all over social media and our website of these badass custom bikes with that custom paint job with the blue and the red in some of them. They're amazing. But it's not just that full package that you see. It's actually like a menu, and you get to pick your own custom package. You're going to start with that menu and say you're really feeling that Dark Horse Chieftain or Roadmaster and you don't want the custom paint job. You don't have to mark it. You can go right down that line. Say you don't want the Arnaut Air Ride and the center stand. It's not really your thing. You don't have to get it. Say you don't want the fat front tire. As badass as it is, it's not everybody's flavor, and we get that. You don't have to get it. Reversely, if you just want the custom paint job and you don't want the performance, which it happens, you can do that. But that is why we do those. And I'm not going to go through the rest of the list because you want Lloyd's exhaust. You want the 126. You want the 1901 floorboards and foot pegs. The rest is a no-brainer. If you guys have more questions, feel free to give me a call, email me. Our number is 704-879-4560.
I still haven't been able to get over the railroad sounds in the background. That is the one and only Amanda from Indian Motorcycle Charlotte. And they have all kinds of exciting things going on at Indian Motorcycle of Daytona Beach for Daytona Bike Week. They'll be doing dyno work there, performance add-ons, everything that Lloyd's does. They're going to be doing it at Daytona Beach. You got to get in charge. You got to get on the schedule, though. So call them and let them know that you're coming and schedule with Paul. So give them a call at Indian Motorcycle Charlotte and Lloyd's Garage. Tell them we sent you. And Riding Fish, welcome back to the show here, my friend. And I wanted to also give a shout out to what? Go ahead. Is that the best you get?
That's the best horn I had. I don't know. It is amazing. It's like the greatest timing ever.
Yeah, you have cartoon tequila that is working its way into your veins. I can see that already. All right, so now let me backtrack just a little bit because I wanted to thank my friends at Custom Dynamics. We had David Perbula on the show. Okay, he is the CEO there. And David is an amazing guy who's an electrical engineer who really gets deep inside the creation of these lighting systems, okay? And Custom Dynamics makes some quality stuff. They turned around and gave us a $500 gift certificate to give away, okay? $500 to spend with Custom Dynamics lighting. And David was awesome. He is presenting our special event that's coming tomorrow. Now on Saturday, we're going to release a special episode of Indian Rider Radio featuring two-time American flat track champion Briar Bauman with the Indian Wrecking Crew. Now, Briar is a bright young guy. He's got a heck of a career ahead of him, and he is currently one of the best at what he does. And he took time to join us on the show. Custom Dynamics was nice enough to do the presents for us, so you'll also meet David, the CEO there. It's a great show. It lands tomorrow, and it's a special episode of Indian Rider Radio. And I just wanted to make sure that I plugged it.
Bro, I don't know. When you told me earlier that they gave a gift card that you could give away or gift certificate or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, that's going to make somebody's day. That's no like slouch.
Easy, cowboy. Yeah.
Is that day. But yeah, that's not a weak amount of money to give somebody. That's an awesome gift. So
when you want me to update Eddie, they've actually given us two.
$1,000
gift cards from Custom Dynamics. Now here's it. You want to know how to win one?
One for you and one for me?
No.
Oh.
Brian here. No, I'm not giving you a $500 gift card. Not giving Brian a $500 gift card either. I like Brian, but I can't do that. So here's how the first one is being given away. When you listen to the special episode tomorrow, listen throughout the entire show because there'll be a cue in there that will tell you how to enter. Okay. And there's also going to be a piece of information that you're going to need in that show.
Ooh.
Okay. So listen to the special episode with Briar Bauman and David Perbula from Custom Dynamics. Listen for instructions, enter to win, and we'll pick one guy from everybody who gets the correct answer to the question. Okay?
Yeah.
Now you got that figured out?
Yeah.
Do it. Tell me back how you do it.
You listen to the show,
right?
Email you the question,
Sure.
answer to the question,
right?
And pick myself to win.
Okay, you were so good for so long there. You had it about 66% and then just went right off the rails.
Well,
yeah, Brian knows what we're talking about, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was really awesome that they did that. So
that's incredible.
Yep, we're gonna hook one guy. We're gonna hook somebody up with one gift certificate through the podcast. We're gonna do another one here with After Hours, and I'll tell you more about that later. Okay, so what do you think? Sound like a plan?
I think it sounds like a plan.
Outstanding. So now we posed the question: why have we not done this with the FTR already? I can tell you why. It's the very same reason that you gave just a moment ago when you were talking about Harley-Davidson, being, of all people, why them? The FTR was poised to see what direction it was going to go. It lends itself to it very well. There has been a lot of development along those lines from its inception, but why pull the trigger until you have to? And let's make sure that this whole little sport riding, adventure riding thing isn't some phase that people are getting into and getting out of. So look at it that way. Look at it that that's a big commitment to now go in that other direction. Harley-Davidson needed it for one simple reason. You couldn't have taken all of the technology and all the things that they had been developing for a bike like that and introduced them any other way. There's no other bike in their lineup that you could start hanging that stuff on and have their customers go, sure, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, they would rebel.
They needed a place to go 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
And this was pretty much the only place they had left.
Yeah. And now you bring that platform, that technology, and then you can put that on, what's rumored as the custom 1250 custom or whatever.
Yeah.
And it might start being accepted. We all saw what happened with the V-Rod. It was not an accepted bike. So hopefully this works for them better.
Let me touch that a couple of times. First, I just got done talking about that 2008 Crossbones, a bike before its time, because now its styling and its setup is very familiar, and guys actually create bikes built more along those lines. And the same was true with the V-Rod. The bike had everything going for it. It would have probably laid itself out very well for a variety of different customization and performance add-ons over time, and could have been adapted to a lot of different platforms. But I don't think anyone really was behind the bike 110%. It was nice to have the motor. And yes, we built this great frame and we had a lot of fun with it. And wasn't that a novel thing for us to do? But it never was going to be the bike that Harley-Davidson wanted it to be, because the American public didn't expect that from Harley-Davidson. That's what it amounted to.
Yeah.
Wait, did he go mute? As he's just refused to talk.
He's just pointing, I don't know. What's happening down there?
I'm saying that's smart, Curtis. You nailed it.
Yeah.
Wow. See,
By the way,
I spend a lot of time thinking about stuff when I should be doing other things that are far more important. But
Well, I'm working on making an adventure bike.
Okay.
That's what I'm making. I took that FTR and I'm customizing it. I got the skid plate in just the other day. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, I was much more anxious to see the FTR go street side. I really think that that's going to be my knee dragger real soon. I think that's going to be one of them I'm going to have fun with. So
you definitely got your wish there. That's for sure. I just can't wait to see it start showing up in that capacity on bike nights,
Oh, no question. No question. Well, one of the things I'm trying to do, right?
So I've been to some bike nights back when I used to ride sport bikes, the R6s, R1s, and all the super sports. Yeah. And I have a feeling that's what the FTRs are going to do. It's stop sign, stop, wheelie, stop sign.
Don't forget to hit the rev limiter for about 12 seconds too.
Oh, I miss those days. I'm just saying. I can't wait to get this FTR in my house. It's still sitting up at Bison because we're still waiting on parts and they're still doing some work to it. And
run down the list of what you are doing to this thing, because you are taking it pretty aggressively off road.
Yeah. So I went and got true 50-50 tires. So it's 50% dirt, 50% asphalt.
Yep.
I have the high riser bars on there. I went ahead and got the heated grips on there. I got skid plates, frame sliders.
Yeah.
I got a different racking system so I can take my camera gear. I'm like, where am I going to put the damn drone that won't fall off if I do a wheelie? Let's see. I did some fun, like just look good stuff, like some caps, and I did put the lever guards. So if I do drop it, hopefully it saves my brake and clutch lever if I do dump it.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably get hand guards for it still. I haven't committed on a shield of any kind, like a windshield.
Okay. So are you going to go higher than it is? Yours being what is it, a 19?
It is 19 in the front, 17 in the back. I think it is.
I mean, what year is it? 19 or 20?
It's a 19. Yeah,
it's a 19. So you still have 150 millimeters of travel front and back, right?
Yeah.
You gonna raise that to give it a little more off-roady feel, or no?
I think I'm gonna leave it for now. Because I'm not sure how adventurous I'm gonna be. Like, I'm all talk. I'm making a bike to look adventurous, and then I'm probably gonna go down the gravel road and
make one trip down
and come back and put the street tires back on it and go back to the wheelies and the rev limiter.
Telling you,
ride it around in your front yard.
Well, yeah. Let's just throw it out there right now. So, Brian, if I'm able to organize it, we should get a bunch of guys and we should just go ride Pikes Peak.
Oh, man, I would love
get
to.
you and Fish and me, and we'll get anybody that wants to come, but because from the creator world, if you will, and we'll go up that thing and we'll really have some fun.
On an FTR or on my Springy?
Either way, if I don't know, I can probably drum up a few more FDRs, but it's going to be a little tougher than I thought.
I bet our friends at Pikes Peak
Indian Motorcycle.
Yeah, they can probably help us out.
Sure. Yeah. Home of also Rocky Mountain tours.
I have been wanting to do one of their Rocky Mountain tours, and I've been thinking about getting in touch with them about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tito will be so happy to hear from you. He will have you set up with all 3 of those tours before you're done. He's brutal about it. You'll be out here for a month.
16 days, just 1 8 in a row.
Just keep riding, bro. Just keep riding. You'll be all right. No, they are. Well, Tito is my son-in-law, and Pikes Peak Indian Motorcycle. These guys have just made such a commitment to so many aspects of motorcycling. They're doing performance, rentals, the touring company, and just a variety of stuff that it's all going to be leaned right towards that. They're actually going to have their own performance branding product here soon. So it's pretty exciting for them.
Exciting, yeah. Wow, cool. Yeah. Hey, what happened to Picasso? I thought Brandon Picasso was going to be on tonight.
Yeah, so did we.
Yeah, he came in the chat and chatted up a little bit, and
You run away, Brandon. Are you afraid of us? Did I just say that in the wrong way? Did I just lay out some fighting words or something?
Well,
he might be able to take you. I don't know. He looks kind of like a
scared. Yeah,
he might be intimidated by a real, YouTube megastar.
That's right. I did call you a megastar, didn't I? Yeah. Well,
you called me a megastar. What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
You're challenging.
Autocorrect got in the way. I didn't.
Dude, Brandon Picasso is like here, like you can't even see it, and I'm like down here going, "Hey, Brandon."
Nah, come on.
So Brandon, though, I mean, dude, some of the work that he does, his voiceover work, and it's inspiring.
He's got a great voice. He's got a great presentation. He's got great camera gear. He's got somebody to assist him. Apparently, you can tell that he's got other people filming for him. He just puts together some beautiful material. I'm really impressed with what he does. I'm jealous. I'm actually quite a bit jealous.
Hey, you do great work. You got any plans? What are your plans for content this year? I know you work. You have a real job.
Have going on. Yeah.
Yeah. My plans for this year are to make plans for this year.
Oh. Fair.
And,
I thought it was really me.
Barbara and I are working on some travel plans. Honestly, I would like to make the Rocky Mountain tour part of that. And there's a potential that we may be going up into the Northeast, up to Maine or New Hampshire. because there is some beautiful riding up there. And I've never done it, but I've heard all about it, seen videos and pictures, and that's interesting for me. And then there's also the Natchez Trace that runs Alabama all the way up to Nashville, and I hear that is just a fantastic ride. I don't know if you guys know anything about that road, but that is basically a national monument almost, and it's, I think, 600 miles of no stop signs, nothing over 45 or 50 miles an hour, and just little, Civil War monuments and things the entire way, and it's just 2 lanes also the entire way. It's
wow.
Yeah, it's like landscaped and everything the entire way. It's an incredible thing, and I really would like to do that this year also too.
You said 600 miles?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Has anybody done Blue Ridge Parkway?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brian, you have.
Sure.
Did you do the whole thing though? All 400 miles?
No. No, I did part of it. Yeah.
I did all 400. Started on the north and headed south.
Yeah.
The second 100 miles was kind of lame, but other than that, it was pretty fun. It was nice.
Yeah, I love riding in the Smoky Mountains. It's my favorite, and I love going out west. I mean, the Black Hills are completely different, but I love the mountains on the East Coast. Just lush, beautiful, green. It's and the roads are so well kept. It's beyond compare.
Well, you got to come out here and ride in the Colorado Rockies. I lived in Idaho for years and years and years, and I thought that Idaho and even Western Montana and parts of Washington State offered probably the most stellar riding I ever seen, and it still ranks way up there. But mountain riding in the Rockies is dramatically different. It is something, yeah.
I've gone from Silverton all the way to Buena Vista, Colorado on the bike, and we spent time in Steamboat and rode out there. And
then as soon as you start to get up here at elevation and you start to get into some of those mountainous areas, you can just get lost in the scenery. It's just easy to get lost in the scenery.
Can you explain something to me? How is it that a rain cloud drops rain, and before it even gets halfway to the ground, it just disappears? Like, what is that?
Yeah, see at 6,000 feet. Yeah, it just, I don't know. It just happens. It's weird.
I don't get it. But on that ride, when I went from Buena Vista out, I was almost to Gunnison, and I went over, I think, Loveland Pass or something pass. It was a beautiful sunny day, and I saw a tiny little cloud at the top of this mountain. And as I got up closer, the skies opened up, and it went from 80 degrees and rain to 50 degrees and a massive hailstorm.
Yeah.
And then in about 5 minutes, I went over the pass and I was gone. I was out of it, and it was back to sunny skies again.
Yeah, hail is a real thing here, and when it starts, it's dangerous in some cases. I've got the dents on the truck to prove it. I mean, it's that bad. But
and of course, my battery died just as I was doing that. Just as I was doing it too. Yeah.
A few years ago, me and my boys were riding. We're gonna go to the Sun Road in Montana. Well, after too many late nights and too many late starts, we decided we didn't have time. So we took some road that we never heard of called Beartooth Pass. About halfway up, just what you said, started as rain, turned into hail, turned into snow.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't stop. We went to the top, and we eventually got over the storm, which was even more incredible because we were at the top. There's a giant American flag. It's the top of a mountain, so it's flat. We're walking around. You're looking down at the storm. You're seeing the lightning. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never felt so accomplished on a motorcycle as I did that day. And I mean, it was hard. It was I was thankful that there was a car in front of me. I was in his track of the snow,
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah, that was super stressful. And
it was sticking to the ground then. It wasn't just melting when it hit.
Correct. We were single filing up the Camry's road pass. So it was incredible. And then we got on the other side, the Wyoming side, clear.
Yeah,
Cold, but clear.
yeah. Those two roads are my total bucket list. I mean, I'd give anything to do Beartooth and go into sun.
I've done Beartooth twice now, and the second time was even better because it was perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, here in a couple weeks, I'll probably have the video on that from this past June.
Excellent.
So yeah, it was in my second favorite, just because everybody's talking about their roads that they like. $1 Million Highway.
Yeah.
Second favorite. I loved that. That was beautiful, and that was you, Curtis, that told me to take that. So
Yeah, Silverton all the way up to Ouray and that whole region up there. Oh man, it's just amazing.
yeah.
I have a video on that.
You do, don't you? I watched his video on that now. See,
Yeah.
but now, what about your ride up to Pikes Peak with me this year?
It's a great
Past summer.
Yeah, I loved it. It was incredible. You know, I've done Pikes Peak of Mount Evans.
Yep.
It's incredible. I loved it, and they let me actually go to the top, which was cool. But we had some wicked winds. Do you remember, Curtis? I think they were saying 80-mile-an-hour stable winds at times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
at the summit, when we were about 3/4 of the way up, the wind kicked up to about 55, 60 miles an hour, and it was pretty steady. By the time we got past to that next stop that you went up from, yeah, it was blowing about 75, 80 miles an hour pretty consistently. And, and when you get up there, even the wind is so harsh and it's so cold, the air itself is just cold, that even on it was a 60+ day that day, up there, it was cold. It was really cold. Whew.
Yeah. So Brian, they didn't want to let us go because we're on motorcycles. So
Right.
So after a little while of me vlogging and walking around and talking to people that I don't know, all of a sudden I turn around and half the crew that I rode up this mountain with is now going down, leaving me up there. Okay, well, what the hell? So now it's just me and Big Gabe left. And so I walk over to the guy and I go, hey, just curious, what do you do when you go to the bathroom? He goes, well, there's a porta potty right there. I go, well, that means there's nobody to monitor the road. He goes, yeah. I go, I'll give you $100 right now to go to the bathroom.
It's a God's honest. He did exactly that.
Yeah. and me and Big Gabe rode to the top. So
yes, they did.
Yeah, that's my next video. Actually, that's the one. Well, I'll do this Chief one, but Pikes Peak will be my next video out. It's a lot of footage. So
awesome, good. Well, again, we've got a. How many people do we have hanging around? Just a few.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. Let's take one more quick break. Let's get in and out and come right back, and we're gonna just kind of wrap it all up and see if Brandon Picasso ever does drop by and say hi.
Yeah, I guess I should probably check my phone. See.
Yeah, you do that, and I'll be right back.
All right, sounds great.
And welcome back again. Indian Rider Radio After Hours continues Friday night with me, Curtis Sawyer, and the Indian Rider Radio Studios, and none other than the Scourge of Minnesota. He's out and about on the streets, Ridingfish, doing his thing every day. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm much better now, 54 minutes in than I was 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
When
good.
we started this show, anybody that went looking for us earlier on my Facebook channel, or Facebook page, rather, yeah, no, that didn't work. So we spent close to 90 minutes trying to fix that. That didn't happen. We came on the air, and here we are kicking it on YouTube. Ridingfish, dude, you've got a lot of stuff that you have shot this summer that you're still working on video stuff with, right?
Yeah, so I have Pikes Peak, I have a Hellstorm and stuff going through Wyoming, the Black Hills with my buddies.
Yep.
Then they leave. Gabe and I then go to Beartooth Pass. We do that. Then we go through Vegas, SoCal, $1 Million Highway, hang out with you another day or two.
Yeah.
And then the ride home, which, by the way, the ride home, I was sick. Probably had Corona. I don't know.
Well, you left here not feeling well. I know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I think I call or I text you that night or something. I was like, dude, that was the worst 400 miles I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
Dude, I almost stayed another day at your house, but then I'm like, what do I have? I'm gonna get everybody sick. I don't know. It was wicked, but the next day I was fine.
Yeah, well, you got through it. You're all right.
Oh man, memory.
So we got to thank a couple of people. Obviously, Trust No One Clothing helping us out, and Eric Thurber with Thurber Jewelers. Same guy, two different businesses, but he is a super supporter of our shows, and he's a great dude all the way around. I had the privilege of meeting him in Sturgis. So if you like what you see as far as Trust No One Clothing or Thurber Jewelry, let us know, and by all means, tell him we sent you. Okay.
Yeah, I think Ridingfish might even be a discount code.
Wait, what?
I think so.
Discount codes.
Yeah, try that out.
That's nice. Okay.
If not, buy $40 and he pays for shipping or something at least. So
All right.
yeah, good guy. He's supporting the show, and yeah, he supports the motorcycle guys. So how about the motorcycle guys support him? You know. So anyway,
and Trust No One Clothing. Check out both brands.
Absolutely.
And while we have the opportunity, I want to thank Custom Dynamics and David Fabula for being on the show and being a sponsor and helping us out with some really cool stuff. Not one, but two $500 gift cards that we're giving away from Custom Dynamics. They are home with the ProBeam LED technology lighting. So if you haven't checked them out for your Indian motorcycle, you need to do that. So,
Michael, my bike is going to look so bad. That's what those $500 worth of lights.
do not get me in trouble. Okay, there's rules, there's laws. Brian, look what this cat's trying to do. He's trying to put me into the bus.
You know, he needs to spend more time at the editing desk and less time trying to shill for lights.
True. Yeah. There's.
Listen, I can edit all day and night. I'll never be as good as you, Brian. I'm okay with that. So I'll put half par stuff out there, and make a couple of jokes live on Fridays. But if I tell my wife that I won the $500. Oh,
sure, of course. Yeah, I had
right
that way, but you bring a great point.
Can you help a brother out? Dang.
Brian, did you get a chance to listen to the show, the new episode with Michael Locken and
no.
You just got you home from work. There is a new episode out of Indian Rider Radio, a new podcast episode. Check it out. Season 2, episode 8, wherever you find your favorite podcast. It includes American Flat Track CEO Michael Locke and NBC Sports trackside announcer Kristen Beat. So it's a great show. It's a lot of fun.
I love them all.
Yeah, it's a good, clean fun.
So I asked some of our audience what do they want to talk about before we take off, if whatever. And RC wants to know about Daytona activities.
Okay.
I'm going to show up the second weekend. The wife, my daughter, and I, we are going to show up. We're going to hang out. I'm bringing a helmet, by the way. I don't care. I'm going to carry it right on the airplane. We know I'm not scared to do that. But so I'm going to test ride that FTR. I'm going to test ride the Chief. And I'll even go find a Pan America if they'd let me. Sure. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. There's some other people. I don't know if they've been, I don't know. They're in the chat group, but I know there's some other people that are going to be there the same time as me, and I'm hoping to meet up with them.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's a secret or not, but they knew who I'm talking about. So it'll be cool and get to meet some people. Hopefully, are you going to be there, Brian? What's your plan?
Yeah.
You're in your backyard, dude.
Yeah, it's literally 30 minutes from my house, and I was just over there at Ross Meyer's Harley-Davidson just a couple of days ago. So if you're in town, let me know. Or when you're in town, let me know. If you want to do a ride, that's great. If you just want to get together and have some chicken wings and a beer, then that sounds great too.
Well, I'm not going to have a motorcycle, so the ride part gets very difficult.
Well,
you think that if he asked around a little bit?
So, but the chicken wings and stuff like that sounds like a great idea, or some good fish tacos. I mean,
oh, I know a few places for that. Yep.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. I need some mahi tacos or something.
Yeah. We're gonna go to JB's Fish Camp then in New Smyrna Beach, not too far away.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
See, and he knows all the great places. If you got to follow his channel because he'll take you to these little offbeat places that are so cool. So just go check it out.
Sometimes he's dressed as Santa. Let's be honest.
More than once. It's been more than once, wasn't it? It was more than
I
once.
had so much fun doing that video. It was so cool.
So I don't know if I'm still trying to make final plans to come because self-disclosure, we sold our house and we didn't really think that it would sell this quickly. And here it is. And so as a result, it's going to close about the time that I would need to be down there. So, I mean, all things being equal, I'm going to do everything I can, but this is going to probably land right in my lap and maybe going to make this one a tough one this time around for me to be there and do what I want to do. But I can tell you this, that if I do go, I'm going to be with the guys at Lloyd's and Indian Motorcycle Daytona Beach. Neat Sheely there is such a great guy. He's done wonderful things. He's got space reserved for us if we want to come. I just don't know if it's going to be able to be possible.
Is Amanda going to be there?
Oh, Amanda's absolutely going to be there.
Oh, well, then I'm going.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know. Great. Okay. If you're Tim Sutherland, now wait a minute. You're Tim Sutherland and you're Lloyd Greer. Okay. And you've been having a great time talking on the red couch and you've been doing a few things. But finally, one day you turn and look at each other and go, dude, you are one ugly mug. and finally they think, well, what we'll do is we'll get Amanda out here and look at what happened. Wow. They just blew it up.
Full disclosure. You had to sell your house because you showed me where you lived. I stopped in on you twice.
Yeah, well, no, actually, it was yeah. Son of a, how does he keep finding me?
Yeah. I'm sure her business lawyer had something to say about that.
Yeah, plenty of that. No, it was really it was an opportunity. We prices here have gone sky high and things have been crazy, and we bought low and we can sell high, and we needed a smaller place anyway. It's just the two of us, and one of these days when the grandkids come along, we'll find ways to throw them out in the outdoors somehow. But for the time being, we don't need all of this, and I'm gonna have to relocate the studios, but it's still going to be great. It's going to be time for us to do that. So yeah, I make a little money, I get a smaller house and maybe a new studio out of the deal. So I can't complain.
Oh, there's one of our followers, Paul Beardsley. How you doing, Paul? Is Barbara going? I don't know. She's trying to free her schedule up. At this point, it doesn't look like it, but that doesn't mean that if you're like coming to our dealership in Sanford, that you might be able to catch her there. So we'll work all that out. Paul knows how to reach us on our Facebook page, which was at Ride with Two Indians. Same with our Instagram handle, also at Ride with Two Indians.
So I have since learned Barb runs the Instagram. Is that right?
Yeah. She's all over. I'm so terrible with social media, man. The editing bay is fine. Get me on social media where I have to post regularly. I'm too busy.
Well, I may have been texting you one day on Instagram, and the response back was, "I'll let him know." My response back to her was, "Oh no, it's okay. He said he loves you very much."
Yeah. Oh boy. Thanks for getting me in trouble, Fred.
Well, she's out there, taking care of the dream of home ownership, and look at what you're doing to her. That's just
yeah.
Hardcore.
Selling a house. My wife is a real estate broker, Fred, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I figured that out just now.
Now. Yeah.
Just now.
Well, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. But this has been a great evening. It's been a lot of fun talking to you, Brian. And I'm glad that we got to talk because you and I went over one time when you were on the show. We went over your Springfield in detail and how the ride experience with it, and then to have you then be able to talk a little bit about the Chief has been really great because I really want to get my hands on this thing and I haven't yet. And
you will have a blast.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that.
Exactly.
That scares the shit out of me. But all that being said, I'm sorry Brandon could not join us tonight. And guys, we apologize to you that we couldn't show up on Facebook, but here we are on YouTube, killing it and having more fun than humans ought to be allowed to have. So Brian, thank you so much. Again, how do we follow you? Where do we check you out on YouTube and where else?
Yep. Well, if you just search for Ride with Two Indians or Two Indians as one word on YouTube, then you'll find me there. And on Facebook and Instagram, it's at Ride with Two Indians. And we also have a a website called Ride with Two Indians also, where you can get our hats, our shirts,
What?
koozies, all kinds of cool stuff. We've got a great shop shirt. I was going to wear that tonight, but it was dirty. It has reflective decals on it, and it's very cool. So check out ridewithtwoindians.com and at Ride with Two Indians for Facebook and Instagram.
Boom.
And also you have the option to be joint member of your YouTube. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that quick.
Yeah, we have a premium channel. We have a premium option for our fans. They can join if they are on a PC or on an iOS device. There's a little join button right below the video, and it kind of works like Patreon. You can click on that. You can become a premium member, and then you get behind the scenes videos. We communicate with our people on a one-to-one basis instead of just through the social media channels.
Yep.
So it's been a lot of fun, and it's been far more successful than I imagined it would have been. We have a lot of great followers, and we're very appreciative of their support. They're awesome, awesome people.
Outstanding. Well, you guys have your videos are engaging. They're entertaining. You're both having fun. It's obvious when we watch them. So it's hard not to keep dropping back in and Ride with Two Indians.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Brian, thank you for coming on, and especially kind of on our piece together program here tonight, but we'll have you back again. Brian Remington, Ride with Two Indians. Find him on YouTube. Check him out on Instagram and everywhere else. Brian, have a great night.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. It was great meeting you, Fred.
Yeah, nice meeting you. I hope we do this again. We got to do it again. So
absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Take care, Brian.
Bye.
Brian Remington. And, Brian has been super helpful for me early on when we first got Indian Rider Radio started. He was one of the first guests that came on. He gave me a 20 questions kind of thing. It was a little fun. And
he interviewed you, right? Something
like that. A bunch of questions for me. Upset me a little bit, but
I remember
the game.
I remember the last question was, who is your favorite YouTubers from Florida? Or something like that.
YouTubing couple from Florida, Central Florida. Oh, God, that's a tough choice.
It was tough, and then you remembered. Oh no, it's Ride with Two Indians.
At the very end, I remembered right in the moment. Yeah.
This is when I should be throwing the banner up for him. There, boom!
Oh, there it is. Look at it. He has his own official banner. Okay, guys, this has been a ton of fun. It's been a lot of fun just having a chance to chat. And I promise we will spend some time figuring out what to do to get our Facebook reconnected so that you can have us on not one, but two channels. And that ought to be more than enough. Fish, I really want to take a minute, though, and thank so many of the people who have been reaching out to the podcast, who have helped us out here. And again, I go back to that list: Lloyd Greer, Tim Sutherland, Lloyd's Garage, Indian Motorcycle Charlotte, Amanda Bramble with them has been fantastic. We have great support now from people like Brave Wolf Customs with the Indian Rider Radio Full Ride Scholarship Program. If you're not familiar with that, you just nominated someone for that.
I did nominate. It's a subscriber, follower. I feel like he's a friend. We've chatted, text, but yeah, he's a newer rider and he has a Challenger. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it'd be a good fit for exactly what you're going for.
Sure. And if you don't know about it, the Indian Rider Radio Full Ride Scholarship we're looking for riders who have just gotten their endorsement, maybe within the last year or so. And we want to send them to more skills training, whether it be an intermediate class, advanced class, something like that. Because I learned here a while back that roughly only about one third of American riders take any other continual skills training beyond what is required to get their endorsement.
We're
going to get more of that.
Yeah, dude, the better you are at something, the more fun it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and the safer it is, and the more enjoyable it is as a whole. So again, if you know someone who is a brand new rider, we'd like to encourage them, recognize them, and help educate them. So we're giving away $200 full ride scholarships up to 5 of them this year with Brave Wolf Customs and Indian Rider Radio for new riders that you nominate. So let us know. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, I don't think we should miss a week.
You think we took a week off for nothing, huh?
Yeah, I felt like we could have talked about stuff last week, and I wouldn't have had so many things, and we could stick on topic a little easier.
Yeah, we could do that. Absolutely.
I mean, that and
Like we were in the weeds a little bit tonight.
It's a damn highlight of my day and my whole week. So that's it. All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Don't forget, not one, but there will be 2 episodes of Indian Rider Radio, the podcast, out this weekend, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. First one's out now, season 2, episode 8. Michael Locke, he is the CEO at American Flat Track, alongside Kristen Beat from NBC Sports. Then on Saturday, a special Saturday edition where we talk with Indian Wrecking Crew member and 2-time American Flat Track racing champion, Briar Bauman, in addition to meeting David Perblula from Custom Dynamics.
And you're going to give away a gift certificate.
I'm going to give away a $500 gift certificate to Custom Dynamics with the show. And you have to listen to the special.
Yeah.
Instructions are in the show.
Correct.
The clue you'll need is in the show.
Right.
Everything you need is in that episode to win a $500 gift card from Custom Dynamics.
Drops at midnight.
Drops at midnight.
Is it like the first one? Like if I listen to the whole show and I'm the first one that emails you? Is that it? No.
I'm going to draw from everybody that gets the answer right. Is how it is. Because if I get 1159.59 from you,
and my answer, I'm going to tell you right now, my answer is D, all of the above.
Oh, you're dangerously close.
Yeah.
You really are. Ay. Well, okay, you're on the payroll and you're running it up, so I'm out of here.
All right. Well, so am I ending the show today?
What's that?
Am I ending the show today or what?
Yeah. Send us out today.
All right. Well, this is Curtis Sawyer and he is gone. I am Ridingfish. This is Indian Rider Radio's After Hours. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. We'll see you on the road.